Have you noticed how the harder you push, the further your goal seems to drift away? How every time you force a result, it slips through your fingers like water? If you've felt this, you are not lazy. You are not broken. You're simply caught in one of life's quiet paradoxes, one the ancient Chinese philosophers understood long before the modern world started worshiping busyness like a false god. Today, I want to speak to the part of you that is tired of the fight. The part of you that wonders if maybe, just maybe, there's another way. And there is, the tyranny of forcing. We live in a culture that tells us to push harder. If something isn't working, work longer hours. If success isn't coming, grind more, sacrifice more, burn yourself down to the ash and call it hustle. But here's the unspoken truth. Forcing is often the very thing that ensures failure. The Taoists called this the law of reversed effort. The more you strain towards something, the more you push it away. Think of falling asleep. You can't force it. The harder you try, the more awake you feel. It's the same with happiness, love, creativity, even wisdom. When you chase them like prey, they run. The philosophy of Wu-Wei. In Taoism, there's a principle called Wu-Wei. It translates awkwardly into English, sometimes as non-action, other times as effortless action. But it's not about doing nothing in the sense of laziness. It's about moving with the natural flow of life instead of against it. Picture a river. The current is already carrying you. Wu-Wei is the art of steering lightly instead of trying to swim upstream. It's not giving up, it's aligning. Lao Tzu, the legendary Taoist sage, wrote, "The Tao never acts, yet nothing is left undone." The power lies in doing just enough and no more. Why we resist this truth? This sounds beautiful, but we resist it because letting go feels like losing control. And we have been taught since childhood that control is the only path to security. The Stoics also understood this. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The irony is that in grasping for control, we lose it. In trying to bend life to our will, we end up exhausted and bitter. A story of a samurai. There's an old story of Miyamoto Musashi, Japan's most famous swordsman. One day, a young warrior challenged him to a duel. Musashi accepted, but arrived late, very late. The challenger, furious, had been pacing and burning with impatience. When Musashi finally appeared, he fought with calm precision and won easily. His lateness wasn't disrespect, it was strategy. Musashi understood that a restless mind burns itself out before the battle even begins. Calmness wins wars before the first strike. Wu-Wei works the same way. It's not passivity, it's mastery of timing. The modern disease of restlessness. In our world, restlessness is marketed as ambition. We scroll through curated images of people getting ahead and feel guilty if we're not sprinting at all times. But sprinting is not the same as arriving. Nietzsche warned of this in a different way. He said that most people mistake activity for purpose, running simply to avoid facing the emptiness inside. He called it a kind of cowardice disguised as productivity. We fill our days with noise so we don't have to hear the truth in the silence. Letting go without giving up. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You can do everything right and still fail if you are moving against the current. And you can do far less, almost nothing, and succeed if your timing and alignment are right. Wu-Wei isn't an excuse to abandon your dreams. It's an invitation to approach them differently. Instead of thrashing in the water, feel where the river is already flowing and place yourself there. How to practice Wu-Wei. Today, stop chasing clarity. The mind becomes clear when it's not forced to decide. Let answers come in their own time. Do one thing less. Each day, drop something unnecessary. Make space for the right things to arrive. Let small problems solve themselves. Many will, without your intervention. Follow energy, not obligation. If you feel naturally drawn to something, move toward it. If it's only shoulds, question it. The paradox of non-striving. Here's the twist. When you stop chasing, you often get what you were chasing. Stop forcing love, and the right relationships appear. Stop forcing success, and your work begins to bear fruit. Stop forcing yourself to be somebody, and you finally become yourself. The Taoists knew this wasn't magic. It was simply the natural law of balance. Life has its own rhythm, and fighting it only creates friction. A quiet revolution. If you live by Wu-Wei, you will look lazy to those trapped in the cult of hustle. Let them think so. You'll find that life unfolds with less resistance, fewer crises, and more moments of genuine peace. The great irony? You will likely achieve more, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. Closing thought. In a world screaming, do more, try harder, move faster, the most radical thing you can do is stop. Not stop living. Stop pushing. Stop grasping. Stop clinging. There is a current beneath you right now, moving without your effort. You can fight it until your body and mind collapse, or you can turn, surrender, and let it carry you to places force could never take you. The choice is yours.